Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Unconquered Podcast Film Edition. See if we're getting going here. Yep, we are now live. You are looking live, as Brent Musburger used to say. Let's go ahead and get to the breakdown here. As I'm doing that, have to be very pleased by what we saw against a team that was not as good as a few of the teams that Florida State has played, but the improvement was huge. So let's go ahead and get to it. So I'm gonna march through this one pretty quickly. One of the benefits of how well they played is that there's less to pick on, particularly on the defensive side. When I went through this earlier to prepare for this film session, I was going entire drives on defense without noticing significant missed assignments or significant missed fits and that sort of thing, which is the first time that's happened in the 2 years that I've been doing this. So as far as these breakdowns, and it's the best, I think, assignment soundness that I've seen and the best coordination that I've seen certainly since Willie Taggart's been in Tallahassee. So huge progress here. All right, so let's go ahead and get moving. And right here, right off the bat, you see the disruptiveness. They are playing so much more aggressively as a defense than they were even a week ago. Watch, this is the benefit of playing quarters. This is why Harlan Barnett likes to play quarters, but playing quarters behind this front has been a little bit different. But watch how quickly Levante Taylor triggers downhill against the run here. So they've got the guy that he would normally be responsible for becomes the number 3 on this side, so he keeps an eye on him. But he sees this action here, so now he gets to stay home. And as soon as he clears, it's a no before you go. But as soon as you know that ball has been handed off, you need to come screaming downhill as run support. And I tell you what, that is solid play right there from Levante Taylor. That is really good stuff on 3rd and 2. Getting off the field with a 3 and out immediately. I need to get full games again. These condensed games are a little harder for me to break down for several reasons, but overall, and that's a little dangerous, but I'll take it. Overall, we'll do what we've got. The condensed games generally have most of the plays that I want to break down. I went back through the full one, but the problem is that one, the copy that I would have to show up here is still has commercials, so that would make it a little bit more difficult to break down. All right. Now, offensive line did not have a great day against NC State, but in the run game they did okay. And here's a good example of that. Coming off the ball, that's good compression. Now you're one-on-one with the second-level guy, which is what you want for your running back, and then it's his job to get yardage against that guy. Now, I will say this. When Florida State gets a little bit more mobile quarterback here, this is inverted veer. So this is just veer right here. Veer blocking, and then you have a quarterback who... I'm sorry, this isn't inverted veer. This is veer. I'm sorry. This is straight veer. And you have a quarterback who could hand this off, or if you see a guy stand close to the line of scrimmage here, with a good runner here, this right here becomes a big play. And you put a decent athlete here, like, they got a quarterback coming in from the next recruiting class who just might bring that to the table, and he's going to be able to get on that edge. So that is sorry, I've got to deal with a technical issue here for a moment. When you put Jeff Sims in this position, when he hands that off, if this is a read, if he wants to read this guy, if he steps in too close, that becomes a takeoff to the edge, and now you've got, this is what RG3 made a lot of money doing in the Briles system. Either way, Akers is still able to run through a tackle, and that very nearly turned into a really big play. This is pretty good from Hornibrook here. So this is 3rd and 10, and all they're going to do is run a dig over the top and then a shallow, and this is a levels read as his primary read. So he sees that you have a safety taken off to the dig area, so that means you immediately come down here. They're trying to make you throw short, which he does, and they get tackled just a little short, but he gets hit late. So, first down. Or does he not? Oh, no, it's the other one that he gets hit late. Sorry. Good coverage. All right, I want to highlight this one. Again, watch right here. You've got trips, and it looks to me like they're playing, they're playing mini here, which is a version of palms, basically. So what you're going to do is, palms is a match 2. What you're going to do is you're going to X out the X receiver here. So you're going to man coverage him with your outside corner. And he's got a little help out here. But from there, you're going to play through now you treat him as the number 1 receiver. You act as though he's not even there. And that simplifies your reads for the rest of the defense. You act as though he's the number 1. You read through number 1 to number 2, so through number 2 to number 3. And if you see him come out, you come downhill. And then you pass him off to the safety. This is textbook from Levante Taylor. Look how quickly he responds. As soon as he sees that step, there's not a false step. He's already downhill. And as a result, he's there when the ball arrives, and that's a yard loss. That is really, really good defensive football. And this is an RPO, of course. So what you want to see are the backers triggering. Yep, everything's taken care of up front, taken care of outside, and that is great football. And I still haven't heard what Taylor's injury status is, but that is outstanding defensive football from Florida State there. So now you got a 3rd and 10 set up by that. And now you're starting to see more aggressive blitz packages because they're getting teams in bad leverage situations. So now you get to come downhill and you get a twist between your 2 backers to create some problems in the A-gap. They do a pretty good job picking this up with the back. That's pretty good on Hamza. But they still get some pressure, and that quarterback could not throw at all. So let's go ahead and move to offensive side. And man, is he twitchy. Now to the 3rd and 1 here. Once again, offensive line in the run game was not bad. That's actually pretty good. Now he took that's a pretty good beating as a running back you're taking there in the tackles. But he's running like a grown man there. Now this is basically just this is going to be an RPO here. He's just reading the box. He wants to see, do I have 2 over 3 right here? If I've got 2 over 3 right here, then I'm running what becomes basically a zone play where you double team the front guy to the second guy so that he can't bust through. The idea is that you double with these 2. You double him so that he can't get through quickly to break this up. And then it's his responsibility if he comes through hard to make him miss. And ideally, you're able to double and combo block up to here. It's just like the offensive line. And they put their best blocker, Keith Gavin, right there. That's pretty good from both Gavin and Terry. Gavin passes him off. Terry finishes him. Gavin then gets a nice physical play on the edge guy. And Harrison gets the first down. That's good play. Now, this was absolutely stupid. And this was not the only stupid play that Hornibrook made in this game. So I think they probably had an automatic check where they were blitzing the corner a lot anytime you had jet motion away. And in this case, he comes now, and Hornibrook never sees it. He doesn't pick it up until right now, and now he feels it and steps forward. Now, that's pretty good. And this is only a two-man route downfield. You've got a deep over route, and then you have a crossing route underneath that. So this is a hard thing for a quarterback, but he's got to recognize, he's got to see right here that he's got a corner blitz, and he's got to start putting this ball out here right now. That ball should be out now. Get it to Keith Gavin, put it upfield just a little bit more so that you're clearing the backers. Put it right between those backers, a little high, and put it right into here, and Gavin's got a chance to really do something with it. Instead, he doesn't see it early, stays up, and then this is what you want to avoid. He makes a great throw, but if this is anything other than perfect, and it was close anyway, that's a pick. That could be a pick. And also you have a guy here that is potentially picking it off. This is not the kind of play that you want him to make, but it works, so you'll take it. If you see here, the ball should be going right here, right now. Lead Gavin right into that space, and there's your play. But he waits and flicks it out there. Not a play you want to make. That's a play that's a minus in terms of what you're wanting to do. Now, this was a bust here from the offensive line. Now, the reason that this was a bust is they've gotten their play calls. They're quick snapping this with 37 seconds already here. They snapped this ball with 34 seconds left on the clock, which means they are warp speed here. Somehow, they had an automatic, this is a good job by the NC State coordinator, they had an automatic play checked to where they were going to stem at the last second after Florida State lined up. Now, when you stem like that, you change all the blocking assignments. So the way that this was going to work is he's going to block down. He's going to block down. He's going to block right over top of him. This is his guy in this defense. As soon as they move down, that all changes. Now, he's actually got to block the guy over him. Instead, he steps inside because you've got the puller. So block down, block down, block down. He should be taking care of this guy. But this guy was in here. So now he steps down, misses the assignment as a result. And now this is supposed to be a situation where you're basically optioning off of him. Actually, no, I'm sorry. The puller should be kicking him out, but he wasn't there. So he's looking for him. He's pulling up to get to the second level backer here, but then he's all of a sudden on the line. So he should be pulling to kick out. And this guy shouldn't even matter. So kick out, hand the ball off, and you got a good play here. But because of the shift, now you've got the puller isn't even looking at the edge guy. Hornibrook recognizes that this is dead, tries to pull it, and there's somebody else there. So this is a bust due to a good call by NC State and that not being prepared to handle the stem. So good job by NC State. Florida State's offensive line needs to continue to work on handling late snap movement. I know Clemson does it a bunch. So this is something very encouraging for Florida State fans when you are seeing a young guy who really hasn't played much. This is Derek McClendon here at number 55. Look at this on the edge. And he played a good bit in this game. Watch the hands. Clears out the hands of the tackle, gets in there, makes a hit on the quarterback. That's your true freshman. That's a good play from Derek McClendon. Now, what you don't like is you've got a tight end handling Janarius. Now, Janarius was pretty good this game, so you give him a pass here, but he's got to get off that tight end a little quicker there. But this is really good for McClendon. Coverage-wise, you've got the trips, little wide bunch here. This is difficult because if they do that, you've got to manage to get underneath. That's basically an easy pick play. Good job by 8 to come underneath and take that away. And a nice job in terms of the jam here handling that. So this is really good match. This, by the way, this game was the best job of coverage match that I've seen at Florida State in probably 5 years. This is a really good throw and catch, or throw and non-catch, I guess. He didn't come down with this, but, or did he? Yeah, he did. It's the one good throw he made. And, you know, coverage-wise, that's pretty good. I mean, that's good coverage from both guys. You're there, but neither guy quite in position to defend the perfect throw and catch. So, you know, you'll take that. That's just awful from their quarterback. Look at the defense. Look at the exotic look here. Dropping guys off. End drops off. Backer drops. Forcing him to throw over the top. And this is a bad decision from the quarterback. And he tries to fit it in there. And that should have been a pick. That's the second pick that Dent has dropped. But don't worry. There's more picks to be dropped in this game. Fagan actually dropped 3 of them in this game. They could have had 5 picks in this game easily. Maybe 6. So here we've got another blitzer that is missed. This one is off the edge here. This is your linebacker, and they don't show the pre-snap movement, but he moves down again late. And this is on Kalen LeBourne. It's partly on LeBourne and partly on Hornibrook. They're bringing 2 guys from the left side. He should be looking over here as his, no. They bring 2 guys from the left side, and that means man-to-man matchups. This formation, this concept, the guy he's got to look to as his outlet immediately is the slant here. You've got to get your eyes on him and make sure that you can that you're not going to throw a pick there. But as long as he jumps inside with the H-back, you've got space for your number 2 on the slant. That's where he should be looking. You see these guys come down. That means you know you've pretty much got man-to-man coverage or one-on-one coverage. If he steps in with the slant here, you've got the slant here. That ball should be gone right now. Get that ball out, and you've got that ball should be arriving right now. So that ball should have been thrown right here, and now it should be arriving right in here. And you've got DJ Matthews with football play. Now you could, if you got a guy with a hose, throw the quick out here as well. So you've got 2 guys that are open right now. And he's I think looking here, but it's too late. He's holding on to this way, way too long. Either way, take this one if you like your matchup, or take this one. This is the one that I would take. That's the one I would coach him to take. And he's waiting, sits and pats the ball, and that's too late. This is not a throw you want to make off of a hitch anyway. That's got to be a rhythm throw right now. So if he gets rid of it on time, this is not a sack. This sack is on Hornibrook. It's also on LeBourne for a pretty poor job of pass coverage. So they share the blame. I'd say it's about 80% on Hornibrook and about 40% or about 20% on LeBourne. That's poor pass protection from LeBourne. He just gets overpowered. But either way, you've got to go ahead and get that ball out of there if you're Hornibrook. And this is also, I mean, everybody seems to be talking about how great Hornibrook played, but that last play was on him, and this should have been a turnover, and this is dumb. So first of all, he's got plenty of pocket here. Stay right where you are. There's no reason to step up and work your way into pressure. Second of all, they've got a green dog on, which is where he's going to blitz if there's a delay. He sees the back playing coverage, and now he's going to come downhill late. Now, there's a bust here. So in his defense, I'm pretty sure he's expecting a double slant. right here. So DJ Matthews misses an assignment here. That should be either coming outside as an out under the slant or as a double slant. He's, I think, looking for that. And my guess, let me see what we've got. Yeah, that should be an out. He's looking right here. This should be an out route right now, and you're using a little bit of a pick route. Get him on the out, and that's where he's looking, I'm sure. So that's a bust from 7, and that ultimately leads him to step, and wait, and it's too late. Now, he should be getting rid of this now before that's downhill. So even with this, throw this now. Get it out right there. If you have to, throw it at his feet. But what you can't do is step up with the ball up, double pump, clutch, wait, and then hold the ball up in the air and fumble. That's really, really poor, and that they're very fortunate that didn't turn into a turnover, and that's despite good protection. He's got plenty of protection here. Let's see how long he's holding on to the ball. Ball snap with 3 minutes. He's got 3 seconds of protection here before he's touched. He's hit at 4 seconds. With these concepts, he's got to get this ball out in about 2.5. So it should be out right now. And again, he's waiting on that bust. As soon as you see that bust is there, you got to move on, and you go here or here. But you can't just wait on him and then hold the ball up in the air. And this is the sort of stuff that is why, James Blackman hasn't really done this, and this is why ultimately Blackman really should still be the starter. That's not one of the 8 sacks, I don't think. I don't think that counted as a sack. If it was, that one, either way, that one's 100% on Hornibrook, even though, again, you've got a busted assignment, so you could assign some blame for him getting in that situation to DJ Matthews. So now you got a 2nd and 4, and again, I want to highlight the quality run defense here, and it starts with 11. Look at Janarius Robinson. He's lined up, actually, I think close. I think he's offsides. I mean, they should have called that. But look at him get into his gap. He takes care of one blocker, takes out the lead blocker, gets his hand on the ball carrier, and makes a tackle for loss together with the linebacker. And the backer does a pretty good job of getting a run through, getting there. That is really good run defense from Florida State. That's the best they've triggered, the best they've handled their run fit responsibilities in 2 years. I tell you what, I really liked Eric McClendon. Look at this. The bend. Look at that. Look at the footwork. Look at the handwork and the bend. He's got a chance to be pretty good, folks. That's a win right there. That's a recruiting. That's a plus. He's not going to bust. That's going to be a good player right there. And that's a tough call right there. They're in good match principles. Receiver tries to come through him. He has the right to stay there. That's tough. That's a tough call. Got to be very pleased by what you're seeing defensively there. And I tell you what, a lot of this goes back to Jim Leavitt because they look coordinated defensively and things are where they should be. So here you've got a run through. They stay in the 3-3 look. And this time you have a combo block gets run through by the nose tackle. This is a tough block. You're asking the backside guard and the center to block the head up nose tackle. And the way this is going to work, because they're stacking the linebackers, you have to have the center block his play side shoulder while everybody's stepping, because this is just a zone play. It's just split zone. So center has to block this side. He does. The guard has to step with him, and the center has to pass off. You're trying to use your left hand as the center to push him back to the guard, and the guard has to get control of him before the center releases him, and the guard never gets there. You can see that he's able to tilt that backside shoulder, get in between the center and the guard, and split it, and the guard never is able to get a good angle, and from there he's able to disrupt this play. So that's just Mike Arnold not being quite in the right spot. That's Baveon Johnson not quite handling that well enough to hand him to pass him off. Those two just didn't do a good enough job. If they do take care of that, then this is a pretty good play. But as things stand, man, is he a dirty player. I mean, we played against him in high school, but Wilson, he's been like that since high school. He's a really good player, though. All right, so now we've got another big blitz. Let's see what we've got here. So these are all stops, I think. Yeah, and Hornibrook is reading this side of the field. What he's got to see is that this safety comes down. So when they're bringing, this is 3rd and 11, and they are bringing 7 on the blitz. So they know Florida State's going to max protect, so they're going to match with 7. What Hornibrook, the mistake that he makes is that he sees that this safety's inverted, and he sees the one-on-ones over here, and he wants this one-on-one in the slot. The problem is that as soon as this safety takes off and this safety comes down, he needs to switch and come to this side because here's your one-on-one. So watch. Safety's coming to the middle of the field. Now you've got a one-on-one here. When he hits the brakes, this ball needs to be out right now to this side. If he's able to hit that right now, you've got a gain. Instead, they're bringing 7, and you have a mistake with the pass-off. This ball should be out before he gets there, even though there's a mistake with the pass-off here. So this is about half on Hornibrook, half on the offensive line. Hornibrook needs to get the ball out to his left here. Or to his right, I guess. I'm reversing him to be more like a right-handed quarterback. So on the offensive line, the problem is that they're bringing 7, and what you have is you have a twist here between your walk-up backer and your nose. The nose comes across, and this should pass off from the center to the guard. So as you have contact here, he feels him moving this way, pass him off, and now you let him go and you release to the backer, and they don't do that. They stay on and stay on. This, to me, honestly, looks like what they may be in man protection here, and this might be what they're coached to do here, which in this case, I don't like it because it puts Baveon Johnson in a place where he can't keep the leverage. So basically an impossible block to make if that's the case. But it looks like they're in a man blocking thing and they're not switching. That I don't like it, but I'll hesitate to blame the player there. I know the broadcast talked about it as that's a player thing. Yeah, he's saying, you've got to pass that off here, and you should never go behind the center. But if the center's staying on like that, that means he doesn't expect the help. So I think that might actually be how they're planning it, which to me is a little weird. But now let's take a look at when the ball should be gone from this angle. Right now, he's late because he's looking at the wrong side. You got to look at the backside safety. Look at this safety coming. When this safety's coming down, you got to find him. You got to put this foot in the ground right here to create your angle. Ball's out to this side right now. So even with that, if the quarterback is doing his job, that ball's out. You're no longer in Wisconsin anymore, Toto. And this punter, good Lord. So now Hockman on the field. And you could see there was a little bit more edge from some of these guys. There's not a lot of love lost between them and Hockman. Ah, yeah, okay. So this one's obvious what happens here. 42 has the C gap. So this is McCray, the freshman. You've got a tight front up front, so he's in the 4-eye. He's going to have the B gap. You've got the 2 gapping nose, and then you've got the C gap with the backer. He's got to hit this between the offensive tackle and the H-back. And then Josh Brown, who's playing outside backer here, has to come up and handle the D gap outside the H-back. So if McCray does the right thing and hits this gap, that's going to spill the ball carrier to 51. That ball should be tackled right around here. So he's coming downhill. If he hits him with the correct shoulder, so if he hits this with his inside shoulder free here and hits the H-back with his outside shoulder and doesn't get turned, now the back is going to be spilled. Josh Brown's on the right angle. This gets spilled right to Josh Brown. No gain. Instead, that's 12-yard gain. That's what happens when freshman misses an assignment. A lot better that time. And this was the forced fumble. They're reading the 4-eye here. So they are reading Briggs, and Briggs made him pay for it because he slow played it, making the quarterback hand it off, and then he's enough of an athlete to actually get to the running back, gets his hand on it, strips the ball, causes a turnover. That's a really good play from Dennis Briggs. Look at Briggs make up the ground here. Boom, gets his hand in there, strips him of the ball, and then Fagan, well, I guess if the ball's bouncing, they don't have to worry about the poor fundamentals of getting on it, but they actually recover a fumble. This is good defense by NC State here. So they're reading this. This is an RPO actually, and you're reading the edge guy here, and the edge guy comes down. So he's trying to get rid of that now, but they're doing this together with the rotating safety, and the safety gets down so quickly that there's no chance. So that's just good football by NC State's defense. They roll the safety down to the jet. Not much you can do. And that's Hornibrook. Again, this sack is on Hornibrook 100%. You've got to pocket. Why are you going outside? Your pocket is right here. Stay right there. If anything, you're going to step up and inside Akers. As soon as he runs out here, he's running into the pressure because they've got a little twist on. He's running into the pressure. He's got, by the way, an open guy down here. So that's, what, either 3 or 4 sacks already that are on Hornibrook? Yeah, there you go. So this ball, first of all, he should be expecting this to come open. They've got a blitz on. Where are the backers? Backer vacates. You know you have this little over route. Get that ball out. You should be stepping right here into the void. You're getting your fast receiver coming right across. You should be stepping right here. Throw it right around the umpire, and you might have a foot race. Instead, I don't know what he's doing. Why is he coming outside? There's nothing for him to do out there. He's got his eyes on the wrong guy. Get right here. They've got a blitz on. Throw your hot. That's your hot right there. Get it across. That's an easy play to get out. This is a non-sack, so that's either 3 or 4, depending on how you count that fumble that was recovered as a sack or not. Sacks that are not on the offensive line. They're on. None of those sacks have been on the offensive line. Really, they've been on Hornibrook. You could split the one with Bavion Johnson getting beat on the one, but ultimately, those are on the quarterback. Once again, this punter. He's doing his best, impression of a real live punter. Good play there. And this is a situation where you've got your edge guy here. The way this should go is 51 has the responsibility to stay outside. And then you want 35 to be the step in, to be the alley player here. And instead they flip that. 51 steps up, 35 is staying back. And as a result, Josh Brown gives up the completion. So this should be Josh Brown standing right here. And you should have Warner coming forward to make a devastating flyover of a sliding quarterback at the line of scrimmage. Instead, that's first down. Sometimes you just get beat by a 6'4 receiver. It's a good push off by the receiver. Could have just a little closer, a little better technique there, but, overall, sometimes you just get beat, and that was a good play. Janarius Robinson, look at him timing the snap, and boom. Not much more to say than that. It's too bad he won't play the first half against Clemson because they could sure use that. Nicely timed blitz. Notice they come free. So this time he gets it out quickly. Got a bunch of cut blocks to get the arms down. Nice three-step slant route by Pokey Wilson, who has really played well this year. I like this little play. This is actually a one-man screen. Watch the tackle get out there, and he's able to, just by his presence, make sure that two guys are sealed off, and then that's enough to get Helton, who has the acceleration of a Lamborghini, on the edge. See that right there? Nice job just getting in the way. And then you have a Lamborghini. And again, a dirty push out of bounds. Man. And then this is just a routine play here for a touchdown. Again, the same slant that we just saw from Pokey Wilson on one side, and you get it to Tamorrion Terry, and, well, he can run. Glad he's on my team if I'm throwing that's for sure. And he didn't taunt anybody, so that's progress. Wasn't really an opportunity to do that, but well thrown ball right on the right in stride, which is what allows him to take off, and, well, he's faster than everybody else, so. You got a little run around here. This is where you'd like to see a little bit better fill from Warner here. He gets captured there. He needs to get downhill on, because they're pulling, so the backers have to follow the pull. And he needs to get in front here. His job should be to have this shoulder clear and spill the ball carrier to the backside backer. And instead, he gets hooked, and that leads to a little bit of extra space. And Gainer, you'd like to see play this a little bit more physically. You want to see him put his shoulder pad right on the front side of the 6 and 6, keep that outside shoulder free, but drive this back to reduce the space a little bit, and then you're able to force that again back into 56. So a little bit better from 33, needs to be a lot better from 35 from Warner, and then that can spill back to the other backer, but needs to be a little better run fit there. It's a good run from a explosive back. So watch this from this side. He's got to step, since you got the pull, he has to get right there in that gap. You got one gap, second gap, and your third gap is coming from the backside. And you can see he never quite gets over the top. This is the backer who should be making the play there. And they'll tighten this up. It's gotten so much better. Let's see what's going on here. This is on Warner again. Warner didn't have his best game here. So you've got a cover 2 look here. So cover 2, they're playing in the flats, which means that your backers have curl, curl, and then he's got curl, depending on where the number 3 receiver is. So he's got the number 3 receiver, but he's on the other side of the quarterback. If he's over here, then he's going to have to get more width because he's going to have to take care of that alley. But if he stays on the other side of the quarterback, his job is to get depth to handle the inside seam. And that's where they hit it. He's just on the wrong side. He's moving this direction. There's no reason for him to move towards the other player. He just needs to be getting depth. But again, that's a smaller window than it's been of late. This is just a mesh play. Could be doing a little better. This is the 4th down stop. Did I miss the first one? Yes, I did. All right, here we go. Yeah, Marvin Wilson just wins his matchup, and well, that's that. But here's the thing: where is there an open gap? Who misses their assignment? Nobody. That's also the best I've seen. This is the best game that Dontavius Jackson has played in 2 years at least, probably in his Florida State career. Watch Dontavius Jackson. Proper depth, steps downhill, spills that ball, gets in on the tackle. That's how it's done. Now you got your 3rd and 15. You're going to get your, if I remember right, this is the drop and the roughing the passer call. It's a good job climbing the pocket and finding the dig route. Got to catch the football. But they get another shot because of undisciplined and dirty play. And this is beautiful route running here from Pokey Wilson. Whoop! So smooth. And in that 80, he sure as heck looks a lot like Rashad Green, doesn't he? With the smoothness. Just runs very easy. It's hard to believe he and Terry were high school teammates at a small school. So yeah, you look at this. This is just so smooth. Well called by Briles. Well run. And this is where Hornibrook's actually thrown the deep ball. I was told Hornibrook, my practice source said Hornibrook threw the deep ball a little better than Blackman did during camp. And, he's thrown the deep ball well when he's been in there in games, validates that. Blackman's actually been the one to struggle more with the deep ball. And, that's a little surprising given the difference in the strength of their arms. This could be thrown better. That's got to be more in front of him. It's also late. See how late he gets rid of this? That ball's got to be gone now. Right now. He should be finishing the throw right now to be able to have the window that he wants. Instead, he waits, delays, pats the ball, and as a result, that ball hits the receiver behind him, almost gets intercepted. That's the second near interception we've seen here. And that's a poor throw from Hornibrook, and it's just late. He's been late on a lot of stuff in this game. Okay, got a little smash concept from NC State here. So you got a corner and a hitch. And this is just playing a little too tight here on the corner from Samuels. But it's 2nd and 2, so he's defending the sticks. It's hard to find too much wrong here. You want him to split this and force him to throw underneath, but it's a good throw. And if anything, right now I want to default to a little tighter coverage, so I'm not going to complain too much about that. That's just a good play against the blitz. Janarius Robinson again getting pressure. Not much to really worry about there. End of half. They get nothing out of that. And then we're going to look at this because they finally returned a kick, and, well, they've got a pretty good returner in Helton. Acceleration is strong with that one. Special teams have been so much better with Hampton off campus. So this is one where I think actually Akers would have done himself a little bit of, would have been a little better off not jumping there. So he tries to jump cut this. What you want to see is the old Edgerrin James drag the foot and slash, and he should be cutting now because there's clearly no space. If he's able to just drag his feet and put that foot in the ground and get outside here, he might be able to win a race to the outside, but he gets kind of trapped up inside and then can't win going out. That's one flaw that he has as a runner right now, is he'll step forward and hop a little too close to the line of scrimmage sometimes to make his move, when you want to see him slow play this just a little bit and then burst to the daylight, and in this case the daylight is here. So get to the outside, but pressing it just a little too hard. And again, you don't want him, the mistake here is when you look right there, he's off the ground after he gets the ball. You don't want to see both feet off the ground right there. That's what keeps him from being able to make that. He's in the air right here, and he's not able to actually make the move on time. You actually want to train him to keep one foot on the ground there and then be able to move out of that. That jump cut keeps him delayed just a little bit. There's a time for jump cuts. That's not one of them. So that's okay there. This was pretty sure this was a bust. One of these receivers made a mistake here, because you shouldn't have a bubble and then a stop right there. Somebody made a mistake. So Hornibrook recognizes that and gets out of there, and then, well, makes a 1 yard gain or so. That's okay, but that was a bust. Once again, you got a 3rd and 1, and this game they did a great job of getting NC State off the field on 3rd down. Once again, look at the penetration. This is what I expected to see this year from this particular defensive setup. It's the right use of the personnel. You're seeing physical play. The 3 interior guys are dominant. And then you see 35, you see Warner get in there and get downhill and thump. That is how that is supposed to be done. That is a really good job of recognizing where that hole is and getting downhill and making a play. Not bad from Hornibrook. I'm not going to cover that too much. So once again here you've got just a little glance route, little in from Wilson. He's going to make a good pro. Akers is exhausted. You can see Akers here. This is not his best effort. You'd like to see him make an additional block there. But Hornibrook here, let's see what's going on here. Ah, yeah, this is actually an RPO. And normally the way they call this is an RPO. But this is designed to go to the H-back here. And they're blocking on the outside. And Hornibrook decides he wants to run this. And he's just not that fast. So this sack is completely on Hornibrook. It's coverage. Right now, recognize that you are 10 yards behind the line of scrimmage. You're not going to win a foot race here. Just throw this ball at the feet of your H-back, and it's not a sack. Instead, well, that's a sack. That's 5 sacks on that are really, at least in part, Hornibrook's fault. And this is about to be 6. So I would say at least 5 sacks are Hornibrook's are in good measure, mostly Hornibrook's fault, if not all Hornibrook's fault. And then you might argue for 6. This one here, 3-man rush. There's plenty of time. Look at when he panics. He's already got his eyes off the receivers, and he's trying to find space. He's not in danger. Keep your eyes on the field here. You're in fine shape. All he's got to do is dump that ball right there. Just flick that ball right out there, and you're fine. Instead, he's searching, and sack. That should have been an easy gain. Got a wide open guy right in front of you, but the eyes came down right here. He's not looking anymore. He's trying to find running lanes, and he just missed his guy. And that's really poor. He's got a case of the lefts. Very close to a pick there. That's great corner play from Asante Samuel. At some point, he's going to catch one of those. But they're finally getting their hands on balls. They're still not making the plays, but they're at least getting their hands on balls. And man, is he twitchy. Nice run by LeBourne there. Also, pretty good space there and a real nice kick out there by Gabe Neighbors. And that is, again, a dirty play from Peyton Wilson here. Pulling on him and such on the field. Pulling LeBourne away from me. He didn't take kindly to that. Plenty of time. So really the offensive line played okay in this one. Not great, but okay. And as I say that, 2nd and 15. And this is another one that he's got to recognize. You see that corner blitz is on you, quarterback. That's your responsibility. He should be throwing that right now. Even if the receiver doesn't see it, you throw it out of bounds to that receiver where he has a chance to make the play. And you save yourself a sack. That's 7 sacks that you can give at least some responsibility to Hornibrook for. What's he looking for? Just throw it away if you can't. If your guy's not looking. That one I don't think is on him. Got to see for sure. Yeah. Yeah, this is just a missed cut. It's a really poor cut, and that looks like an up down. On a cut, you're supposed to put your cleats in the ground and go and drive forward a little bit. So a proper cut is this. You see this from Ryan Roberts on this side. He goes forward and rolls. Look at Abdul Bellows. Down on the ground, no roll. Boop, no roll. And he's not going forward, he's just going down. That's completely not on Hornibrook. That is his left tackle's fault. Right here. Straight down. No roll. That's the left tackle's fault. Can't get that ball out on time there. So either 6 or 7 of the 8 is on Hornibrook. And this is a great show the safeties example. Good play by the corner. Is that intercepted? Is it not? I don't know. Well, it's off the screen because the camera operator decided that there were certain things about the game we didn't need to know. Man, is he dynamic? And that is dirty play. Dynamic player. Nice tackle. That's the benefit of those wide splits, and he's a smooth player. That's the benefit of those wide splits, is you can kind of hide on the sideline there eventually, because you got to start covering other spaces. Good, that's a dang good move. And Akers is making himself some money. And then you got to love that he goes and takes a look for the goes and picks the ball back up because they want to go tempo. He knows it. I think that's what Blackman was smiling at. Nicely designed play here. Watch Terry here on the little stalk block fake here. Kind of gets buried. Stalk block fake. Gets inside leverage. And this is actually pretty well defended. Now you just put it up to the back of the end zone and let your guy go get it. This is their version of something like what Kelvin Benjamin caught in the end zone, the national championship game in 2014 for the 2013 season. But this is a poor throw. You do not want that ball anywhere near the middle of the end zone. You want this ball to be caught at the back of the end zone. Rule of thumb for quarterbacks is that the back of the end zone is your friend, because if you throw it out of the back of the end zone, it can't be intercepted. But your receiver should be able to go up and catch it high. You want to aim it almost at the crossbar rather than down here, because this gets too close to picked from the underneath guy. That needs to be up in this area so that Terry can run to it and go up and get it. Again, look at the Benjamin play for how that should work. Yeah, you deserve to be able to flex on that one. That's a good play. Similar action to the Tebow jump pass too, but get it up. See, that should be up in here, not down here. Right here. Not so much here or here, but right here. Put it out here. See how he's kind of got to come back for it and wrestle for it? That ball should be up. Up and to the other side. So, again, location not where it should be. Got a little bust again. I think actually, again, you're supposed to get the edge guy here. Yeah, he should not be coming up. You should be expecting your help from right there. He's got to stay on his receiver. That's how that should work. Fourth quarter. We're going to roll through this quickly because there's not a whole lot of really good football left to play. This is a little bit on Gainer. He's got to sit tighter here. And ideally, you want to make the quarterback. This quarterback is not a guy that's going to run much. So make him keep it. You want to keep a little tighter and squat so that you can do that. And the other thing that happens here is he's got to get over the top so that he can take care of the back. So he gets pinned down a little bit. You've got this double team that works its way up to the backer. Backer should not be getting captured here on the edge. So the two backers are wrong here, and that leads to a nice play and a good run. He made the most of his yardage when he had chances. I thought that was a tough call. And once again, this is just really good play from Janarius Robinson. I mean, you get the little duck, runs the hoop, and then a big hit. It's the right call by Rule. I know, this is a tough call, but the issue is you can see him hit with the crown of his head. It's that his head ducked. That's the problem. If he'd hit him with his face mask up right here, see how that head is down? That's what gets the targeting. If his face mask is up like you see here, then where he hit, that's okay. You just cannot hit with the crown of your head. Now, the problem is that should also be called against running backs on short yardage plays, but, you know, it isn't. Because they stick their heads down like that all the time. All right, this is tough. This is an RPO. He's reading the box. He sees a 2-on-2 here, and all you're doing is getting it inside here, and those guys have got to switch, and it creates a leverage problem here. Because as he catches that, he's actually, if he continues coming, Fagan is in position to make the tackle, but he kind of slides on that, and that's just a good play by the offense. At a certain point, you tip your cap, and it's a hard play for Fagan. So, you know, sometimes you're going to lose on that one, and I don't really have a problem. I do enjoy this as they're celebrating right there. Scoreboard. I would like to see him talk a little bit less, but you know what? Enjoy it right now in this one. Yeah, that's just a tough play for the. And yeah, you've got two guys moving at the start, which causes the flag. Won't break that down. No reason to, unless they show the end zone view in the condensed. Yeah, they don't. Not bad here. This is a little RPO. Loading the box because it's, you know, they're trying to get the ball back. Good job running the little pivot route. Got your one-on-one, take it. It's a really good throw right there. Nice play by DJ Matthews. And this is an exhausted defense on. They get the third down, and now you've got 1st and 10, and they set up for the RPO, and this is snapped. This is quick snapped, and here you see good blocking against. Look at these guys just hanging. They are really tired. Faced a lot of plays in the third quarter. That's what happens when you start having offensive success. It is not about time of possession. It's about having success so that you can start running up the number of plays. But look at 55 here. I want to highlight him. Boom. Staying after him. That creates the space. It's right behind him. Nice job with the right tackle as well. And then you've got, that's NFL acceleration, and he's shutting it down because he's looking in the Jumbotron. And I'm going to get to a little bit later here. I'm going to start wrapping this up. I'm going to get to where we're seeing some of the young guys here. On the defensive line. And that's a really good move from Gainer here as a pass rusher. Whoop. So it's such a good move that it looks subtle. Looks like he didn't even make a move, but watch this. Puts his foot in the ground. And whoop. Just too quick. That's a guy who's going to make some money in the NFL. It's another opportunity to pick. Should have been caught. Should have been a touchdown. Not a good decision here. We're going to just go ahead and move forward. All right, now we're to the young guys. That's on 42. He's got to get some depth, but let's see if there's anything of interest here. So, yeah, you've got... Can't really see anything there. You have Malcolm Lamar in it at nose tackle, playing a little high. You have Briggs. I'd like to have seen them go to some of the younger linebackers at this stage of the game, but they're still trying to keep him out of the end zone. I respect that, but I would like to see a little bit more from the young guys here. And then this is just absolute hustle from Amari Gaynor. Look at where he came from here. He's right here. Ball's thrown. That's how you play the game of football right there. Prevents a score that's a meaningless score, but it still means something. And so, you know what? That's how you wrap a football game. That's how we're going to wrap this film session. If you got any questions for me, let me know through the Patreon page, and we will break this down a little bit more with some basic observations from the second and third watches when it comes time for the podcast that I'll record tomorrow night. But until then, this has been the Unconquered Podcast, Patreon X's and O's broadcast, X's and O's breakdown. I'm Jason Staples. Thanks for listening and watching.